So I'm here today with Jon Doyle. Jon is the founder and financial planner at Juniper Wealth Management. Welcome, Jon.
Hi, Mick. How are we doing?
Yeah, good. Looking forward to having a chat.
Yes.
Kick off and tell us a bit about Juniper then.
So Juniper's a boutique financial planning firm. We're based in Preston in Lancashire, but we, thanks to lockdowns, COVID and Zoom, we have clients all over the country now. We're a small but growing firm, a team of 4. We look after a whole range of clients, from business owners to doctors, dentists, and quite a few retired people as well. Yeah.
And where are you focusing? What's the niche for you in terms of types of client?
Yeah, primarily our clients that we target and look after are business owners. Business owners typically who have got a 5 to 10 year target to exit, and they're starting to think about the intentional exit. They say that as a business owner, you're either, what is it? You're carried out, kicked out, or you sell out. So we focus on that sort of 5 to 10 years to sell out, and answer some of the important questions around what we need to earn, save, or sell the business for to achieve what we want to achieve in life. And then also the dentists and doctors is another area that we have a particular focus on, but across the spectrum from very, very early starters through to retired dentists and doctors.
Okay. And what would you say, Jon, kind of differentiates you from other companies that are working in this field?
There's going to be the same things that I imagine those other firms will say. There's a lot of very good financial planning firms around. There's some bad ones, but that's part of the course. But I think the things that our clients tend to say about us is that we really care about the people beyond the money. So obviously, when you're a financial planner, you're talking about wealth, you're talking about money, pensions, savings, investments. But these are just the tools that we use to fund a lifestyle that we want, a life that has meaning, that has purpose. And we're as interested in the people behind the money as we are the money. And I do know other financial advisors are like this, but it's one of those things that our clients seem to really appreciate about our process and our style. And it's not just me, my team also care about the people behind the money. They care about the clients, they know them by name, and they pick up the phone. It's, hi, whoever it is, how's the holiday going, or how are you enjoying your exit, all these kind of things. So it's really, really personal in the way we approach things.
Good stuff. Obviously, there's been a few challenges along the way for everyone, like maybe Brexit, maybe COVID. How were those things for you?
We launched the business in October 2018. So COVID hit about 18 months in, and it was an interesting time. The first sort of thing I recognized when we started COVID was that buying desktop computers for the team was a bad idea. There's this moment as I'm walking, we're in an old dock house in Preston. It's a big old 1920s Art Deco building. I'm walking along carrying this desktop computer and down the stairs, cross into the car park and load it into someone's office. And you're just going, laptops would have made so much more sense right now. But thankfully, because we were quite technology led, we were fully cloud computed, VoIP, all these things. So we were able to adapt to it quite quickly in terms of our working with existing clients. But particularly that first 2-3 months of lockdowns was quite tough, because financial markets were all over the show. It's to be expected. But I think more importantly, for a lot of our clients, it was very difficult to think more than 2 or 3 months ahead. And that makes financial planning really difficult, because you don't want to think about what's happening in 5 or 10 years or even 3 years when you don't know what the world's going to look like in 2 or 3 months. So actually that first sort of 3 months of COVID, there was absolutely no new clients coming on board because nobody had any financial questions that could be answered. And with our existing clients, it was very much about arm around the shoulder, things are going to be okay. You know, I'm a big fan of Stoic philosophy, and Stoic philosophy talks about accepting the harsh realities of what we face ourselves in, looking at what's actually within our control, but never losing hope in the fact that there's an end of the story. And so that's what we ran with all throughout COVID is, yep, it's an absolute horror story right now in terms of business, in terms of how we do things, but there's going to be another side to this, and what's actually within our control. So then coming out of COVID in September 2020, things just went mental, like in a good way. You know, lots of activity, lots of new clients, lots of burning questions, lots of lifestyle changes, all these kind of things. And it's been a really exciting journey ever since.
Yeah. So COVID's in the past. What about the future?
Yeah.
What does that look like for you? What challenges and opportunities have you got?
Well, I think within the financial planning sector, the challenges are always going to be about adaptation. The deep questions that we have about, am I going to be okay financially? They're always going to persist. People will always wonder about these and need advice and the judgment of a good financial planner, you know, taking the experience and their perception and knowledge and applying judgment to the situation. But we've got challenges of technology and the way this is delivered. You know, we've had to adapt to Zoom. We've got, you know, we're just rolling out a client app at the moment, which will be, you know, the Juniper app will be on iOS and Android, so clients can have access to us in their phone. Things like artificial intelligence and the way that's going to streamline processes. I have this sort of thought that it's going to narrow the pyramid of firms. So I don't think it's necessarily going to get rid of advisors or the person delivering a service, but the support structure, it's going to narrow that underneath if you leverage it well. So there's real opportunities in providing new insights, new information to our clients that we're exploring. And we're looking at, we're growing. So we've got the growing pains that come with it, you know, staff recruitment, training, got the possibility of acquisitions that we're exploring at the moment as well. So some really exciting stuff on the cards. And then for me personally, it's trying to get a lot of stuff off my desk as well, you know, like that typical small business owner, they're spread too thin across too many bits. So one of our big goals this year is to remove operational activities from me. So we're outsourced a couple of things, and, you know, bookkeeping, outsource it. There's a few other things, outsource it just to free up time. Yeah. And
how's that progressing?
Quite well, really. Yeah, some of the big jobs have been outsourced now, such as the bookkeeping side of things. We have a process in our business called remuneration matching, where we have to allocate, you know, when let's say Royal London sends us a fee statement, it's one payment, but there's about, you know, 200 policies that it needs matching against. That's a real time suck. Outsourced it. Our technology solution that we use is strips a load of time out there, so it's saving us, you know, probably a day a week of person time in doing that. So that's a great added value back into the business, really. So yeah, really good.
Good stuff. So if you think about where you are now and where you've come from,
yep,
what have been the learnings along the way, and what might you have done maybe differently if you got the opportunity again?
Learnings along the way. The biggest lesson I've learned in my career is you overestimate what you can achieve in the short term and underestimate what you can achieve in the long term. So trying to apply that to our planning going forward, being more realistic about short term, but more ambitious maybe about the long term. I think that control the controllables as well. There's so many things in business that are just outside of your control. but there's so many small actions that you can be taking every single day that can actually drive momentum and drive the business forward. So yeah, keeping a close eye on those and not worrying so much about the things that are beyond control. What would I do differently? I don't think I'd do anything particularly differently. You know, staff is an interesting one. I've got a really good team in place now, but it took us a couple of attempts to get there. So that's always a challenge when you're setting up a business for the first time. But I think you have to learn those lessons. I don't think it's something you can, if you get lucky when you first start and you hire a perfect team on day one, someone's going to come along at some point. You're going to have to learn that lesson of, you know, how to manage team properly or how to manage bad eggs out, get them off the bus. But
yeah,
good
stuff. Well, I think everyone will benefit from that experience, John. Thank you very much for sharing it.
Absolute pleasure.
I wish you very well for the future.